A few days ago, I got the chance to visit Universal Orlando for the first time since February, and I was able to re-ride basically everything there. I've been visiting Universal Orlando a lot lately and decided that it's about time that I ranked my top 10 favorite rides at both parks. That includes Universal Studios Florida and Islands of Adventure. Do keep in mind that this list can get a little controversial as I have some very interesting opinions. Now, with all that said, let's get into it. Coming in at the number 10 spot to start us off, we have Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts at Universal Studios Florida. Now, this coaster is just screwed up. To sum the entire ride up in one sentence, it's basically a dark ride / roller coaster that includes multiple tilt tracks, turntables, motion simulator bases, along with spinning ride vehicles, a 25-mile-per-hour launch, onboard audio, and numerous 4D effects. Yeah, I know, that's a lot. And yes, I do understand this isn't the most intense coaster in the park, but it's on this list because of one thing: immersion. This ride does heavily rely on screens, but it also has a couple physical sets mixed in here and there. For number 9, we have Transformers The Ride 3D, also at Universal Studios Florida. This is an intense motion simulator with a really fast-paced storyline. This isn't my favorite simulator at Universal though, as you'll see later on the list. But for what Transformers aims to accomplish, it does pretty well. I will say that the elevator lift and drop are very well done, and the queue is pretty well themed too. Other than that, it's just a pretty solid attraction, but like Gringotts, it's not at my top priority when I visit the park. Number 8 is also a ride located at Universal Studios Florida. This is Men in Black Alien Attack. Now, I love a nice shooting dark ride, and Men in Black is the definition of that. It even adds a little bit of thrill mixed in here and there with some unexpected moments of spinning. However, this ride is a teeny outdated and could use a major refurbishment to restore it to its former glory. But looking past that, it's still one of my favorite shooting dark rides of all time, regardless of its current condition. For the 7th spot on this list, we have Skull Island Reign of Kong, located at Universal's Islands of Adventure. Now, I'm going to be honest, when I first rode Kong a while back, I thought it was just alright. However, now that I've ridden it many more times over the years, I've grown to appreciate this masterpiece of an attraction. First off, the queue is the scariest queue I've ever walked in, and there are sometimes even live scare actors inside on busy days. Now for the ride itself, it is the most immersive screen-only based attraction I've ever ridden. The way that the bus moves up and down in comparison to the video playing around you on the screens, it's just integrated very well. The only reason this isn't higher up on my list is because yet again, I like attractions that rely on physical sets more than screen-based ones. But Kong gets an exception here because it is very well done. Number 6 will actually be Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey, also at Islands of Adventure. This ride changed the theme park industry, and there's a good reason as to why that is. Forbidden Journey's ride system is literally a KUKA arm, one used in like construction factories, mounted onto a physical track. Yet again, this attraction does also rely on screens, but the physical sets are much more prominent in this attraction than any other in Universal. Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey is one of my personal favorite dark rides I've ever ridden. Now, here's where the list gets good. Staying inside Islands of Adventure at the number 5 spot, we have the incredible Hulk coaster. This coaster is literally one of my favorite B&Ms that I've ever ridden. Hulk packs in 7 inversions, a 40-mile-per-hour drive tire launch, and an awesome onboard soundtrack composed by Fall Out Boy. And I know this is going to sound a little weird, but if you catch a ride on this after it rains, this thing hauls. There's even a few moments of airtime in the layout if you're sitting in the right seats. For the 4th spot, we have Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket. Now, this ride is amazing, however, it has significantly gotten worse over the years. Not in terms of smoothness, in terms of airtime. It actually is a lot smoother than what it was from a couple of years ago, but in return we had to lose a few moments of ejector throughout the layout. Still, it's one of my favorite roller coasters, and I mean, what's better than going up a vertical lift hill while listening to Kermit the Frog sing Rainbow Connection? The Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man will be taking the bronze trophy here today. I can't believe this ride was built in 1999 and still stands up to this day. I know there is the common debate between whether Spider-Man or Transformers is better. Me personally, I'd take Spider-Man over Transformers any day because for one, the storyline is easy to follow, it revolves around characters we all know and love, there are much more physical sets in Spider-Man than in Transformers, that onboard soundtrack is amazing, and there's even freaking Stan Lee in the ride. I love Spider-Man and I really hope Universal keeps it for a while, even with all the Disney Marvel stuff going on right now. Taking the 2nd place spot, we have Revenge of the Mummy. Now, this was my number 1 at both parks for a long time. But I realized that as much as I love this attraction, it's not number 1 worthy. However, this ride is insane. From the storyline, theming, soundtrack, and actual coaster itself, there is nothing much I'd really change about this ride to make it better. Also, a little known benefit to coaster enthusiasts, if you sit in the far back left seat in the ride vehicle, you will get the weirdest sensation of airtime on any coaster you've ever ridden from the drop off the mid-course. The best I can describe it is basically if you took Iron Rattler's drop, but made it only 15 feet tall. It's literally so steep and turns like 90 degrees to the left, you get laterals and ejector at the same time, it's amazing. Now for the number 1 spot, we have the one and only Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure. I love myself a good Intamin launch, but when theming is involved, oh man, it's just unbeatable. I'm not going to go into many spoilers within the ride's layout, but I'll just say that it takes some of Intamin's best elements and combines them into one family-oriented ride experience. And what's weird is Hagrid's halls, which is kind of unheard of from a family coaster. But let's be honest, when Velocicoaster opens next year, that will easily take the top spot for me. So there we have it guys, my top 10 favorite rides at the Universal Orlando Resort in Florida. What did you guys think of the list? I know many of you have differing opinions and I'll really like to see them in the comments down below, as I love to interact with you guys. Oh, and make sure to subscribe with those post notifications on so you don't miss out on any future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll be sure to see you guys out on the horizon. The theme park horizons.